the pale blue eye. The year 1830 brings with it a chilling discovery that will unravel the darkest secrets of human nature. A lifeless figure dangles from an ancient tree beside a flowing river, creating a scene that would haunt anyone who stumbled upon it. This macabre tableau sets the stage for a mystery that penetrates far deeper than anyone could imagine. The corpse belongs to a young military cadet whose promising future has been brutally severed by forces unknown. What initially appears to be a tragic suicide will soon reveal itself as something far more sinister, involving rituals that defy comprehension and revenge that spans generations. The pristine uniform and youthful features of the victim create a stark contrast against the violence that ended his life, suggesting that evil can strike even the most protected institutions. The isolated location where the body was discovered speaks to careful planning rather than impulsive action. Someone deliberately chose this remote spot along the riverbank, far from the watchful eyes of the military academy and curious townspeople. The methodical nature of the crime scene indicates a killer who understood the importance of privacy and had intimate knowledge of the surrounding terrain. As morning mist rises from the water's surface, it becomes clear that this death will test the limits of human understanding and challenge the very foundations of justice itself. The peaceful rural setting masks the darkness that has taken root in this community, where ancient superstitions collide with modern investigative methods to create a perfect storm of confusion and terror. Augustus Landor stands at the riverbank, methodically cleansing his weathered hands in the cold water. This former detective has retreated to a modest dwelling by the water's edge, seeking solitude after decades of pursuing justice through the city's most treacherous cases. His reputation for solving the unsolvable has followed him into retirement, making him the obvious choice when darkness strikes the nearby military academy. The academy's leadership arrives at Landor's doorstep with urgent desperation. A young cadet named Fry has apparently taken his own life, but the circumstances surrounding his death have created an unprecedented crisis. The governor himself has specifically requested Landor's involvement, recognizing that this case requires someone with extraordinary investigative skills and unwavering determination. Landor's personal circumstances have deteriorated significantly since his wife's death 3 years earlier. His daughter's sudden disappearance from his life has left him emotionally devastated, leading to a dangerous dependency on alcohol that threatens to consume what remains of his once brilliant mind. The Academy's colonel expresses genuine concern about entrusting such a crucial investigation to someone battling personal demons. Despite his internal struggles, Landor accepts the assignment and immediately discovers that Fry's death involves far more sinister elements than a simple suicide. The young man's body has been grotesquely violated, with his heart surgically removed by someone possessing considerable anatomical knowledge. Dr. Marquis, the Academy's physician, explains that while the removal required skill, it wouldn't necessarily demand formal medical training. The investigation begins at the death scene, where Landor questions the soldier who discovered Fry's body. The man describes hearing screams during his patrol and finding the corpse suspended from a tree branch, though the victim's feet remained touching the ground. This detail immediately raises suspicions about the authenticity of the supposed suicide. Landor's examination of the corpse reveals additional evidence that contradicts the suicide theory. A severe head wound suggests blunt force trauma, while defensive injuries on Fry's hands indicate he fought desperately against his attacker. Most significantly, a crumpled piece of paper, clutched in the victim's fist, contains cryptic writing that could provide crucial clues about the killer's identity. The Academy's captain makes a specific request that Landor conduct his investigation discreetly to protect the institution's reputation. He also demands that Landor abstain from alcohol throughout the investigation, acknowledging the detective's well-known struggle with drinking. These conditions reflect the delicate balance between utilizing Landor's expertise and managing the risks associated with his personal problems. A peculiar young cadet named Edgar approaches Landor during the investigation, claiming to have insights into the case. Edgar's poetic nature and unconventional thinking led him to theorize that only someone with artistic sensibilities could conceive such a symbolically meaningful crime. His observation that the killer must be a poet reveals an unusual perspective that intrigues the experienced detective. The investigation expands when Landor questions a hospital guard who was mysteriously relieved of duty on the night Fry's heart was stolen. The guard describes being dismissed by an unidentified officer who lacked the standard rank insignia, suggesting the involvement of someone masquerading as military personnel. This revelation adds another layer of complexity to an already confusing case. Landor's visit to a local tavern provides additional information through his relationship with Patty, the establishment's owner. She reveals her personal connection to the victim and mentions that Edgar had previously shared details about Fry's death, demonstrating the young cadet's unusual interest in the case. Edgar's explanation that only a poet could conceive such a crime reinforces his earlier theory. The investigation takes a significant turn when Edgar decodes portions of the letter found in Fry's possession. The message appears to be an invitation from someone the victim trusted, suggesting a planned meeting rather than a random encounter. Edgar's linguistic skills prove invaluable in interpreting cryptic handwriting and understanding the killer's methodology. Edgar shares disturbing details about his personal life, including his belief that his deceased mother's spirit provides him with poetic inspiration. His description of writing a poem about a mysterious girl who had committed a crime, followed by actually seeing such a person, creates an eerie connection between his artistic visions and reality. These revelations make Landor question Edgar's mental stability. The discovery of evidence related to occult practices transforms the investigation's focus towards supernatural explanations. Landor finds ritualistic symbols and materials in an abandoned building, suggesting that the heart removal might be connected to dark, magical ceremonies. A knowledgeable friend provides crucial information about historical witch hunters and their documented rituals. The consultation reveals that offering a hanged person's heart to demonic forces represents a specific type of ceremonial sacrifice. Additionally, they learn about Henry Cleric, a notorious witch hunter who documented methods for achieving immortality through occult practices. Edgar's infiltration of the Academy's social circles yields important intelligence about potential suspects. His newfound friendship with Artemis, the doctor's son, reveals connections between the victim and various Academy members. Edgar discovers that Fry had been romantically involved with Artemis's sister, Leah, whose rejection may have provided a motive for revenge. The investigation suffers a setback when Edgar becomes emotionally involved with Leah, the same mysterious girl from his poetic vision. Her beauty and apparent innocence captivate him completely, though her sudden epileptic seizure during their meeting creates additional concerns about her mental and physical condition. Edgar's romantic feelings compromise his objectivity as an investigator. Landor's painstaking work decoding Fry's diary provides breakthrough information about the victim's final days. The coded entries reveal details about secret relationships and hidden activities that may have led to his death. Meanwhile, Edgar's growing attachment to Leah creates tension with Bellinger, another cadet who harbors romantic feelings for the same girl. The case becomes more complex when Bellinger disappears and is subsequently found dead under identical circumstances to Fry. His body shows similar wounds, but the surgical technique differs slightly, suggesting either a different killer or evolving methods. The discovery of additional mutilation indicates escalating violence and psychological deterioration in the perpetrator. Edgar becomes the primary suspect when witnesses report his public threats against Bellinger following their confrontation about Leah. The Academy's leadership pressures Landor to arrest Edgar, but the detective defends his young colleague, believing in his innocence despite mounting circumstantial evidence. A dinner invitation from Dr. Marquis provides an opportunity for Landor to observe the suspect family in their home environment. Artemis's hostile behavior and defensive reactions suggest guilty knowledge, while his mother's nervous demeanor indicates family secrets. Landor's discovery of a military coat without proper insignia in Artemis's room provides physical evidence linking the family to the crimes. The investigation reaches its climax when Landor discovers that Dr. Marquis possesses books on black magic and a portrait of Henry Cleric, the infamous witch hunter. Confronted with this evidence, the desperate father confesses that his daughter's terminal illness led the family to embrace supernatural solutions. Leah's claimed communication with their ancestor, Henry Cleric, provided the ritualistic framework for the murders. The final confrontation occurs in the abandoned house, where Leah and her family attempt to complete their immortality ritual, using Edgar as the final sacrifice. Landor arrives just as Leah prepares to remove Edgar's heart, leading to a violent struggle that results in the building catching fire. The flames consume both Leah and Artemis, ending their murderous campaign, but devastating Edgar emotionally. The case's resolution brings recognition for Landor's investigative skills, but Edgar's recovery reveals a shocking truth about the detective's true motivations. Through careful analysis of handwriting samples, Edgar discovers that Landor himself authored the letter that lured Fry to his death. This revelation transforms the entire investigation from a search for justice into a carefully orchestrated revenge plot. Edgar's further investigation reveals that Landor's daughter didn't run away from home, but was sexually assaulted by 3 academy cadets, including Fry, before taking her own life. Unable to seek conventional justice, Landor used his investigative skills to identify and systematically eliminate his daughter's attackers. The coincidental black magic activities provided the perfect cover for his vigilante campaign. Landor's confession reveals the calculated nature of his revenge, including his manipulation of the investigation to frame the Marquis family for crimes they didn't commit. He successfully eliminated 2 of the 3 rapists while maintaining his reputation as a dedicated investigator. The third attacker, Stoddard, escaped before Landor could complete his mission. Edgar faces a moral dilemma when he discovers evidence of Landor's crimes, initially planning to expose the truth to Academy officials. However, his understanding of the devastating injustice that motivated Landor's actions leads him to destroy the evidence instead. The young man recognizes that conventional justice failed Landor's daughter, justifying the father's extreme response. The story concludes with Landor having achieved his revenge, but losing everything that once gave his life meaning. With no family left and his mission complete, he faces an uncertain future, haunted by the memories of his daughter and the lengths to which grief drove him. His transformation from detective to vigilante demonstrates how personal tragedy can corrupt even the most principled individuals, while Edgar's decision to protect him suggests that true justice sometimes exists outside the boundaries of law. Thanks for watching till the end. Your support keeps us going and helps us bring more awesome stories to life. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for the next recap on Addict Recap.